God's favor is revealed in his presence with us. What does David go on to say? He says, and I shall dwell in the house of the Lord forever. See, our tendency is to take that verse and apply it to eternity. And so we say, you know what, I will live in the house of God for all of eternity. And we apply this verse to heaven. I don't think that that's a bad interpretation, but I don't think that it's the immediate interpretation. If you go and read different commentaries, scholars would point to a more immediate application of the text. See, the house of the Lord was a reference to the tabernacle of God when David was alive, and then his son Solomon actually built the temple. The tabernacle and the temple were the places, the physical locations where God's presence was said to reside with the nation of Israel. And then that word forever, it literally means length of days. So what David is really saying, probably the best translation is, I will dwell in the house of the Lord for the rest of my days. An even more practical translation would simply be, I will enjoy access to the presence of God for the rest of my life. See, if you were to take this book and you were to read it from cover to cover, do you know what you would see from Genesis to Revelation? You would see that one of the major themes throughout all 66 books is God's commitment to being present with his people. You look in the Garden of Eden, and what do you see? You see God walking with Adam and Eve. When God leads the nation of Israel out of Egypt, what do you see? You see God with them as a cloud by day and a pillar of fire by night. And then they build the tabernacle. And what does God's presence do? It comes and fills the Holy of Holies. You get to the New Testament, and Jesus leaves heaven and comes to earth. And what's his name? Emmanuel, which means what? God with us. Jesus ascends into heaven, and what does he do? He sends his Holy Spirit, who does what? Indwells us. You go to Revelation, and what does it tell us? It says this. It says, behold, the dwelling place of God is with man. From Genesis to Revelation, what's the message? God is committed to being present with his people. We have consistent access into his presence, and God's favor is revealed in his presence with us. As I look back on key moments of my life, I can confidently declare he was there. Like he was there when I felt like I hit rock bottom with sin and hypocrisy. He was there when I started dating Catherine, and when my friend passed away in Iraq, and when our son was in the NICU. He was there when we decided to move to Waco to lead a ministry where there was literally only $1 in the ministry's bank account. He was there when we had a miscarriage. He was there when we moved from Waco to College Station to begin leading Breakaway. He was there when marriage was harder than we wanted it to be. And he's been there as we have navigated some challenges with one of our kids. I can confidently look back on the most monumental moments in our lives, and I can confidently declare he was there. But I don't want to get to heaven one day, and if God somehow gives me the ability to see all of my life, I don't want to wait till then to realize that he wasn't just there in the monumental times, he was also there in the monotonous times. I don't want to wait till then to realize, you know what, he was there in my home office every single second of the coronavirus. He was there when I was driving in my car or watching Netflix. He was there when I went for a run. He was there when I felt down or alone. He was there when I had to make a major decision. He was there every time I didn't know what to do, and every time I didn't know if I was going to make it another day, and every time I wondered about my future, and every time I stressed out, every time I felt like I was carrying too much, or every time I felt weighed down by life, or every time I felt like a failure, or every time I didn't feel enough. He was there in every moment of laughter with my wife. He was there in every sweet moment with my kids. God is present in the monumental and in the monotonous. I don't want to wait till then to look back and say he was there. I want to live awake to his presence now. I want to be someone who declares he is here now. He is with me.
Hey, thanks for watching. To find out more about Houston's First, you can subscribe to our channel or you can go to houstonsfirst.org.